Okay, so here is a little demo of the harmonic transformer. Just a single module here, and just a quick overview of the PCB. This is the frequency, fine tuning, and the coarse tuning. Then we have the modulation, the LFO, amount and frequency, and these are the two envelope generator controls, the attack, the release, and right in here is a button for sustain. And finally there's the output level just here. So we have a sine wave showing on the scope at this time, and we can adjust the frequency of the sine wave using the controls on the module. Or with a keyboard, which you can't quite see, but it's right beside it. So that's basically the BCO, how that works. Take a quick look at the LFO now. So I'm just going to switch the scope over to show the LFO. So what you're seeing here is not the tone, but that's the actual LFO triangle wave oscillating, and I can adjust the frequency of the LFO right here. And you'll notice if I turn up the amount of the modulation, it starts to affect the frequency. And if we look at those two things together on the scope, you can see obviously the LFO is a much lower frequency than the sine wave, but at the top of the scope you can see the rising and falling of the triangle wave of the LFO, and at the bottom the frequency changing in relation to the rising and falling of the triangle wave of the LFO. And now if I turn down the amount of the LFO, the LFO is still oscillating, but you see that it now doesn't have any effect on the frequency. And I'm just going to tweak that up a little bit more and add some more modulation. Turn it down a little bit. Slow it down as well. The other thing is we can change the LFO to a higher speed with a switch. So I just turned it on to the high speed, and now when I adjust the frequency, it starts to have some sort of an audio interaction with the sine wave. Now switch it back to slow. That's the sine wave, the oscillator, and the LFO. And now we'll take a look at the envelope generator. VCA at the moment is set so that the envelope generator is out of the circuit, disconnected, defeated. And when I put the envelope generator on with this switch here, we now don't have any sound until we create an envelope. So with the keyboard, I'm going to press an envelope, and you see the rising and falling of the output amplitude now as a result of the gate from the keyboard triggering the envelope generator. Now if I adjust the scope so that we can concentrate on the envelope instead of the output, you can take a closer look at the envelope and see how the signal at the bottom of the screen rises and falls with the envelope. Now this is with the sustain switch off, so it doesn't matter how long I press the key down, the attack and release cycle just happen one after the other. Now I'm going to put the sustain switch on. Same thing, but while I have my finger on the keyboard, we're at full sustain. So you'll see now we have the oscillating sine wave that's created by the LFO modulating the frequency, and with my finger on the key, you're hearing the full output level. When I let go of the keyboard, it dies away. And now I'm going to make a bit longer on the release. And as you can see, as it slowly decays away, you can hear the output level reducing. Now I'm just going to tweak up the attack a little bit so we can just see exactly what's going on here. And I'm about to press the key, and you should be able to see clearly the envelope. So we have everything working together. I adjust the output level down to almost 0, and then turn up the output level again. Key down and key up. And now I mentioned the possibility to use it as a drum. And if we shorten the envelope, turn the LFO effect down to 0, sustain off. Now I'm just going to put a little bit of release on here. Go up, down a little bit on the frequency. Turn a bit more release on that drum.